It's good night for Red, isn't it?
I see we have Kevin here. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, hi. Hi, how are you?
All good.
Excellent. And I that we'll have Spark and Chief with us soon as well. But I think I see we've got a good audience already. Perfect time to kick. I know we've got heaps to get through. Maybe I'll just pass straight over to you, Merkarut. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. I'll only be here for 10 to 15 minutes max because I believe Spark's got some updates for you. Yeah. So as usual, trying to be alive. I'll just give you a quick update on the protocol, on the app, what's coming up next, and what I am working on this week. So on the protocol side, we have successfully finished the Oracle system, and right now we are integrating it with the current infrastructure. It's amazingly cheap and amazingly fast compared to what we were using before, and there is a form of where any even from source verified, it can be kind of saved in the global state on the database node. So that's great. I also finished gaming contracts. So as you already know that we are having the gaming section on L1X App, and there are quite a bit of challenges actually, that I faced when I was looking at the existing way on how games are integrating with Web3. So we decided to scrap, the existing way of doing it, and we just built a gaming contract straight away. So it kind of reduces the time for any gaming project to, it could reduce the time from like let's say 30 days to less than a week now to build an interoperable Web3 game. So that's done, and we are integrating it with the games that are already built for Legal Labs. The access control contracts are also finished, and right now we are testing bringing data from Facebook, tokenizing it, and saving it on the database node. So that's in testing. The front end is built for that, and also on the end, the ID and the username. So the username contracts are also done, and there is a way where we can now, bring data from even Web2. Doesn't really matter Web3 to Web3, but even Web2, and verify that data, link it to your username, and save it on the blockchain. So the protocol has, matured quite a bit. We're getting some good transactions until now. Everything is okay. And also on the other end, we are spinning up other nodes because one of the metaverse project that we are onboarding, they want their own subnet. So, this is the first time a project will be using their own subnet. So we are spinning up another node and, trying to scale the system. So that's good. That's on the protocol side. On the on the app update. So we have increased the swap limit. So now if you go to do the swap, we have increased the limit. Every week we will keep increasing the limits over there. Also the referral, in terms of the NFT sales. So if you are a referral and you refer someone on the NFT sales, or even joining the website and somebody buys an NFT, which is the L1X App NFT, you'll be rewarded 10% for it. So if the NFT is worth $180, you're going to get $18 straight away. We are also integrating the buy process of the L1X coin itself on the L1XApp.com. So it's going to be a more seamless process where you can just swap into L1X now. So I think that's kind of making it more efficient to buy. The expert program, we finished the development for that. It's testing right now. So probably sometime next week, we'll release that out as well. We're also working on something called as influential board, and I'll get into that a little later, but influential board where, the object CMS system that I was mentioning earlier, we kind of found out that anyone right now, even a business can come and start building their websites, and link like their products and services by just creating an NFT associated with it. So it's great because it can increase, good amount of transactions on the protocol as well. So that's good. The usernames, as I mentioned, will be usable by sometime next month, where the amazing part about the username is it's the same username that you're going to use for the website hosting. So somewhere down in the first quarter of 2024, we are going to have our own web browser, the L1X web browser. So you don't need to use Google Chrome or Firefox. So the L1X web browser will allow you directly to whatever you see on the L1Xapp.com right now. And if you have your own, let's say, space card that you create, you'll just be able to put something like Kevin Coutinho.L1X and go to your space card straight away. So, your space cards will be used for live streaming. If you have social accounts, you can ask people to like and reward them with NFT badge. So we're making it more seamless for people to, just create stuff. And once we have the L1X web browser, it's a very secure way of accessing Web3, the games. The gaming section is being built, and we're going to open up, opportunities for gaming developers as well, because it's going to be very simple to come and build a Web3 game. So we had to build, this gaming contracts, which is done, and it's so efficient that right now, if you play a Web3 game, it's not Web3, it's Web2 with a flavor of Web3. So, and the reason for that is every time you interact with a contract, you got to sign in, submit, approve. And in this gaming contract, you just have to sign in and create a session once that you want to play, let's say even any type of game. And once you finish playing your game, you just log out and it's done. So, of course, the transaction fee is less than a cent. So you can keep the session open for 48 hours, 1 year, doesn't even matter, right? So you don't need to keep approving every time you play the game. So that's great. So it's kind of Web2 experience. We're also working on the DEX aggregation strategy and the widget iframe, where we're going to tap into other liquidity pools on the market for tokens that we don't provide the liquidity for, and we're going to use Xtalk for that. So it'll have the same secure way. So you won't be limited to the amount of tokens that are currently there to swap. You can swap like any token out there in a way. The launchpad is also being built. Other projects are going to come up on that launchpad as well. So that's good. So these are the things that I was been, focusing on and working on. But one of the other things that I'm working on is how do you get, people to create content on L1Xapp.com? It can be business websites, it can be articles, it can be so many things. So what we have done is we have kind of forked L1X app space card itself, and we are creating something called as content metaverse. So it's like a content metaverse where content writers, writing on Medium, you're going on Cointelegraph and reading, you're going here, there and reading. So what we are going to do is we are going to allow you to come to L1Xapp.com, and you can start reading, of course, through an RSS feed. You can read any content out there, follow topics and all those things. But more importantly, what we are doing is we are creating a way where the content creators can go and start creating content. It could be text, voice, podcast, video, and tokenize it straight away. So any content that you create, you'll be able to tokenize it, and you can then deposit that content into the content metaverse. And what's going to happen is the content consumer, like the everyday user, or even the content seeker, like a business wanting you to write a content or design a graphic, for example, could reach out to you via the content metaverse and pay you for doing something for them. So in this way, when the consumer, the creator, and the content seeker interact with the content metaverse, there is something called as a content graph that will be created. So basically, a content graph is how many likes did I get, what content is being read more often. There is a scoring model associated with the content as well. And the best part about it is, for example, if you're paying $10 on Feedly, $5 on Medium, whatever your amount you're paying, in this particular case, you have your username already, and because you have username, you'll get certain credits. But imagine, you just pay, let's say, 50 cents a month, and any article or that you consume that is a part of the content metaverse, it's going to be pay-per-view. So and the pay-per-view is going to be according to the scoring model. So anyone writing content, and somebody reading it, they will be paid for it, and that 50 cents will be divided into how many contents articles that you read, and according to the scoring model, the content creator is going to get rewarded for it. So in this way, the content creators are everywhere. Every country has heaps of content creators, but it's pretty disjointed. Like in the traditional model, you have the content writer and the business interacting with a centralized platform, and it's like the advertising thing, right? They keep most of the money. So what we are doing is, this content metaverse is like a galaxy, and regardless of the content type, like image, videos, voice, you create a business profile as a content writer of yours using the space card, and start creating additional cards with the content that you want to write. And according to the hashtags and topics, it will already be segregated for the content consumer. And this one will increase the time that a user stays on the L1XApp.com for. But at the same time, from the user's perspective, it's great, because now I can create an objective, which is, I want to increase my knowledge in Web3. Boom. According to that, all the topics will be created for you. All the content writers, and according to the scoring model, will show you the content that you can read in stages. Because if you keep reading things over the internet, you can't have a way on like where you are in terms of the knowledge for that content. So in this way, it's like an academical concept, but at the same time, you have live content that you are consuming. And because there are applications building on L1XApp.com as well, you could straight away navigate to that application to see that content in action. Like, what is interoperability? You could go to the swap widget. Okay, what is this gaming contract? You could go to the game and see what it is. And this one will be creating the data around any type of content the creator creates, consumer consumes, and based on that, the knowledge graph being created. So if there are, let's say, 1 million content writers writing, I don't know, maybe 1 billion words a day, in that way, every time you write content, you tokenize it, put it on the L1X chain, and you kind of start monetizing your whole infrastructure, because you don't need to create it from scratch. Just import your articles from Medium. It will store it in the database node and tokenize it for you. And when you share things on LinkedIn, you don't need to share it on Medium. You just share it on your business profile straight away. So that what will happen over here is, if you are creating users from all these social medias, you don't have to send them to somebody else's website, because your business profile attached to your username will later on become your name .l1x. So in that way, you start creating these users going to your website, and in the same way, businesses can approach you to advertise for it as well. And this is one way we thought content writers will get immense motivation to come and write. Also, at the same time, users will be on the L1XApp.com for a longer time, and it's showing the power of the protocol where, regardless of what user you are, on what chain, on Web2, it really doesn't matter. You just come over here and start reading immediately, and you pay per view, right? 50 cents, or you just go according to the article. Could be like 100 articles for 1 cent kind of thing. But at least the moment you read that, at least the person writing it is getting something, because the writer on Medium doesn't get anything. And I felt that this is not good. It's pretty disjointed. So we are going to give a grant of around $1 to $2 million US to content writers to come on and write some good articles and content and create these profiles.
Wow, that's a lot going on. I know. I just saw some of the comments from Sleazy Slimy. He's trying to put together his timestamps for all these things, and I know that's going to now be a real headache for him with basically all the alpha, all the things we've got building, everything that's coming together there. It's massive amounts of work, and I know from the community perspective, we appreciate the insight into everything that's happening in the office, everything that's being built, and obviously I think revolutionary stuff too, like completely out of the box thinking where we're not seeing this anywhere else on any other blockchain. So
I think, and it's not going against the publications. Like, I've already got 3 calls scheduled today with some publications around the world that this is an opportunity for you to come and start. You already have writers, but what we don't want is you keeping 80% and the writer getting 20% because you got to spend on advertising. So you give 80% to the writer and you keep 20%, or we are going to make sure that you don't exist anymore in the next 6 to 12 months, because once the writer and the yeah I think
oh, sorry, keep going.
I think because what is happening over here is there is a shift in terms of what the protocol's power is. And I think, as a content writer or as a creator, if I need to rely on your platform as a business, if I got to pay you $5,000 to advertise something and you're keeping 80% of it, I think that's a complete crap model. And because the protocol can do it, and it'll take us like 2 to 3 weeks to build this whole infrastructure up because the protocol is ready. And I already have some friends in content writing that have more than 30,000 content writers. So immediately by the next month or by January, we'll have at least 40,000 content writers pushing their articles straight away.
Absolutely huge. And as you said, it's collaborative, right? It's we're not trying to be oppositionary. It sort of fits in with the L1X entire vision. It's all about making everything accessible for everybody, and then from that position, obviously, we can all grow together.
Yeah, I think that it reminds me of George Bush's comment. I mean, the L1X community is saying this, right? This is not a threat. This is the way it's going to be. This is how we're going to do this, and we're going to make sure that this thing works, because until now it has worked. So we see no reason where, if you give so much power to the content writers, why will they spend some time writing an article on Cointelegraph or medium.com? Like, I'm not scared to say that, because we don't rely on those people for anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's heaps of mind-blowing information already. Is there more stuff there, Merkarut, or that's?
I think I got to get back to work, so I'll let Spark continue. But thanks for having me.
Oh, absolute pleasure. I know the community loves having you here and hearing everything that's going on. So once again, thank you from all of us. It's always enlightening to get the scoop from your end as well. We'll pass straight to Spark, because I know he also has lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, hey guys. I don't think we've got much more to say. Let's wrap it up, eh?
Classic stitch up.
Yeah. No, look. Yeah, I think, like, you can see that once again, we've been busy. Kevin and the development team, every aspect of the team have been, putting their heads down and working hard as usual. And some of the things that we're going to be bringing onto the app are just amazing, as you can hear from what Kevin was saying. Look, for us, I do want to give just a couple of shout outs to some community members that we have, Crypto Psycho and also Crypto Pride. I did a couple of AMAs with those guys, and it was a pleasure to be on their channels, and it was great for us to, in a way, to kind of speak directly with them and do their AMAs, because obviously they're active community members. We really appreciate the work that they do to spread education and awareness around L1X. So firstly, I just want to shout out to those two. Thank you very much for everything that you guys do. So yeah, had some great AMAs yesterday. I think one of them, on both of them, I mentioned an airdrop, and one of them I went into a bit more detail. So we have, I don't know, does anyone know that we've got an airdrop coming, or is anyone interested in hearing about that?
I think there's maybe a little bit of interest.
Yeah,
just a touch,
mate. There's a bit of silence. I don't know. I don't think they're ready for it yet. I really don't.
Yeah.
There's not much happening in the chat. Maybe 1 or 2 comments. I don't know. I'm just not sure, mate. Maybe you should hold off for 1 week.
Well, look. Yeah, and if anyone's watched Crypto Psycho's video with all the kind of finer details of it, we have a pretty extraordinary bounty airdrop campaign that will be kicking off within hours. So midnight AWST, so our time, which is in about 15 hours, a bit under. We'll be starting the participation period for the L1X App Bounty Airdrop campaign. And what is the Bounty Airdrop campaign? Really, it's an opportunity for people to get involved on the app, experience some of these groundbreaking features on the app, experience the new features that Kevin's talking about as they come on board the app, and not only be rewarded by cheaper, faster, safer transactions, access to multi-chain staking, the ability to control and monetize your data, access to some pretty extraordinary gaming arcades, the list goes on, but also be rewarded through the Bounty Airdrop campaign. Now, I'll go through some details again, but look, for a really deep insight, we will be releasing the blog as well on the airdrop campaign, but also Crypto Psycho's video out there. If you haven't seen it yet, please jump on. But there's some pretty amazing rewards that we'll be giving out. So eligibility. So once again, starts in a bit under 15 hours in terms of the participation period. We're going to be running the participation period where interactions on the app accrue you more value in terms of airdrop rewards. The participation period will run from the 1st of December to the 31st of May. And the reason why we want to run it over that period is because more and more features will be coming onto the app. So more and more ways to interact on the app, more and more ways to experience some of the cheaper, faster, more accessible solutions that the L1X technology enables. And to really kind of get familiar with using the app and experiencing some of those features that are coming out. And so over that period, any interactions, the more interactions, the better, will be tracked. And then those interactions, the amount of interactions, the consistency of interactions, and the variety of interactions will all count towards the value you get in the airdrop. Now, what are the rewards, I hear you say? So firstly, to participate, for eligibility to participate within the airdrop and be eligible for rewards in the airdrop, you will need a username, L1X Web3 app Web3 username. And once you have that username, then any of those interactions over that participation period from December to May will be counted towards your value of the airdrop. Now, straight off, what are the benefits of getting a username? I think Kevin's probably gone into a few of the details. Not only does the username allow you to bring in your data, control your data, start to have safer, secure, more customized interactions with people that you want to interact with, verified interactions. It will allow you to monetize, because ultimately that will become the richest data source on you as an individual in the world, and you will own it. And so companies will want to go to you directly, and we'll create a space for that to be able to happen, so you are rewarded with advertising revenue. And just to kind of give you an idea of advertising or user data revenue, the top 5 companies in the world, which are Apple, Microsoft, Google, and a couple more that evade me at the moment, they make about $750 billion worth of revenue per year off your data. So why not give you the opportunity to actually monetize rather than them? But to get a username, once you get your username, you're eligible for the airdrop. But also, you also go into the draw. Now, anyone who acquires a username right from the beginning. So if you bought a username yesterday, you're still in the draw for this. You just have to have a username during that participation period to count towards your activities. The earlier, the better you get the username, because obviously that'll start to track your activities straight away. But once you get one, you go into the draw. Every username you get gets you an entry into the draw where there'll be 2 prizes, rewards of 500,000 L1X coins each. So I'll just repeat that. There'll be 2 rewards of 500,000 L1X coins each. The first draw will be drawn at full mainnet. So you've only got a short amount of time to get your usernames, and each one gets you an entry. The second one will be drawn in June, and both of those will be where one winner will win 500,000 L1X coins. So that is only the first part of the rewards. The next part is where we've actually allocated up to 20 million L1X coins for this airdrop. And so a majority of those will be distributed to those that are most active, that have the most variety of actions on the app over that participation period. The third way to win is at some stage, probably late December, early January, we'll be introducing weekly treasure hunts, where certain actions on the app, and these will change each week, but there'll be a group of actions on the app where if you take that action, you'll be alerted that you've earned an entry into the weekly treasure hunt draw. So you'll have to discover where those actions are across the app. And when you, let's say it might be clicking approve for a cross-chain swap. It might be entering a certain part of a profile. It might be clicking on a certain part of the app. But when you find it, you'll be notified that you've earned an entry. That entry will go into a weekly treasure hunt where we will draw 100 winners each week that will receive airdrop rewards. Now, these rewards could be, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So you could get coins, you could get usernames, you could get L1X App NFTs, or you could get a node NFT. So it will be a lucky dip in terms of what you will win, but we will have a number of winners each week that will be able to get prizes from that weekly treasure hunt. Every entry that you get into the weekly treasure hunt will also give you an entry into the grand prize, which is a golden ticket. Now, the prize for the golden ticket is going to remain a mystery, but all I can say, it will be very attractive. On top of that, we've also got 9 additional golden tickets that we will be taking a pool of the most active people on the app over that period, selecting 9 random winners where each of them will also receive a golden ticket and the rewards that come with that. And it doesn't stop there. I feel like I'm a bit like Oprah at the moment, saying all these rewards, right? But look, the next one is that obviously, and this is for the lifetime, right? Is that you have the expert program referral links. When you go onto the app, you go onto the account section, you click on space cards, you'll see your referral links there. The L1X app referral link, when you share that out, and once again, this is another action, sharing and getting people onto the app through your referral link will also earn you value in the airdrop rewards. And so when you're sharing that link out and people come onto the app and start using the app, just remember 10% of the activity fees generated by every user you refer onto the app for the lifetime of the activity fees of that user will go to you. And so there is like a multitude of rewards and ways to be able to benefit from this airdrop that is starting in just under 15 hours. And I would be letting as many people as you know through your referral link that this is happening. I think that's it. Chief, anything to add that you wanted to add to that, or CryptoNaut?
Yeah, look, I think what will probably update people is that why are we doing an airdrop? I think probably the important thing to point out that airdrops are probably one of the most effective marketing strategies available out there to increase the awareness and people's interaction with projects, especially like ours, of the size of ours. I think it's such an important point. Somebody also, I just saw one of the questions come up about what about the effect on circulating supply. We have taken that into account. This is part of our overall strategy, and we have taken that into account in our tokenomics for the release of these.
Yeah, 100%. That's been taken into account. Like when we do anything, we always look at it from the numbers perspective as well. From that, and so yeah. So and I would say that the cool thing I like about this airdrop campaign is that there's there's a bit of gamification in there, but also as people come on and use the app, I think with these features coming on board, some of them may have came for the airdrop, but then realised actually this is a pretty amazing ecosystem and environment where
it's huge.
Yeah, exactly. Where you can do things within that ecosystem and environment that you can't do anywhere else.
Spark,
Yeah.
I'll just without giving away any details, Spark and I were on a call earlier today with a particular chain, and the guys on there basically said, we want this, we want the widget, we want to get involved. They were pretty excited. After the call, we were quite pleased with ourselves. So, yeah, more details will come on that soon, not yet.
I think Kevin or Merkel hit it on the nose. This is the way it's going to be. It's part of the migration from a Web 2 experience to a Web 3 experience, is that we've got to ditch these data hungry, data black hole kind of businesses, platforms that are holding all the users hostage on a lot of different things. Because I think you made a great point. Like 80% is going to the platform, 20% is going to the content creator. So if you look at it from that perspective, like this is definitely going to be the new ecosystem that's going to be out there that everybody wants to be a part of. So it's one of those proven things that it will happen, and it's great that you can now do it on your own and you don't need that middleman to make it happen.
Giving the control back to the user.
100%.
Well, that's a fair amount of alpha, I think, there for everybody. I was going to say, Crypto Nord, if you hadn't chipped in by the end, I was hoping you'd be able to, continue the one-up. Is there a one-up from you, sir?
I think that's enough, isn't it?
It's never enough.
All I can say is that I'm ready for objects to come out. There's a lot of content that's going to be needed to be created around the airdrop, around all of these different things that we're deploying. And so it's been fun kind of getting back in with marketing a little bit more to help them out, create the content around these kind of things that are coming out. So way excited. It's going to be a good wrap up for the year. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I just want to add as well, just a real simple thing here. Spark and I have sat down and we've run through the numbers on this, looking at the app itself, and then when you start putting into play the airdrop, it's when we've looked at the numbers and we've crunched a few. Believe me, I've done that. It just blew our minds away of where this is going. Even we're sitting there going, wow. So if you guys haven't done it, try and crunch the numbers yourself.
I think one of the key things that everybody wants to know, and I realise we've had a lot of alpha and we've had a lot of really big shares, but when happy bull?
You and me both, brother. When happy bull?
When happy bull? I think that's the primary question that the community wants to know. When can we have our Flappy Like Bird games so we can waste away our lives?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of there's a couple of betas coming for that very soon. We'll probably get our hands on it first, and just need to find some time in the day to play it, maybe between midnight and 3 a.m. Oh, hang on, 3 a.m. Spark, haven't you got an AMA coming up at 3 a.m. soon?
Yep, whatever it takes.
Yep. Mate, I did my 4 a.m. yesterday, so yeah, all good, bro.
Exactly. I'll have to have a few coffees, and maybe Crypto Nord being in the northern hemisphere, maybe he can jump on and help prop me up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sending Red Bull vibes your way, my friend.
Yeah. But yeah, look, obviously in these next few weeks, you'll see us promoting the app, the airdrop through different channels. We've targeted a few different channels. We've got AMAs lined up to push promotion, obviously also through our own social channels, but external ones as well. So you'll see that rolling out over these next few weeks. I would also just highly encourage the community to push it out there as well. All working together is always the best way, no stone unturned, and really promoting it. Obviously, it makes it a really easy share for your referral link as well. All I'm saying is that if you share it with your network and you say, hey guys, jump on, get this airdrop, jump on this referral link, they are obviously clicking on your referral link to get onto the app, and then bang, they will become associated to you for the lifetime of their activity fees. So it's a pretty simple push for the community. So I urge everyone to get out there and really push this out.
So many things coming out. Sorry, go on, Sam. You've got questions?
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that me and everyone else in the community is pretty impressed right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's so many things coming up, and like I said, I love jumping on these calls because it's just a fire from the hip, quick fire hose of everything that's happening. I see Sparks in the chat there answering some questions anyway. Sam, did you have any that have come through that we need to touch on?
Yep. I think this one might be for Cryptonaut. So I'm Groot Crypto. Nice name, by the way, us. Any timeline on when the L1X wallet is going to be connected to the L1X app?
There's no definitive date yet. People, when we're bringing this together, you've got to remember that it's like a domino effect, and there's certain things that need to happen. And the way that we're redoing the L1X wallet into the L1X app, there's some things that we're working on behind the scenes that need to happen beforehand. So I wish I could give you a definitive timeline on it, but unfortunately we need a few technology and few implementations to be made prior to that. But all I can say is that it will come. It will definitely come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I just say as well that look, nothing goes unheard. So in terms of suggestions, in terms of that what the community brings up, it's all noted, definitely. And it's just about really kind of allocating the resources we have across to really prioritize certain things in the short term. But everything is noted and everything is on our roadmap. Just because, and I think the community knows this, is that there's so many things that we're working on to build out the L1X app, the protocol, and there's a lot of projects we're working with. So our focus is to really build that up, and it is spread across multiple different things. And so everything will come in time, but it's almost like, the saying goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But in our case, it's 10 bites at a time. But every suggestion is noted.
But we're a good thing to add to that too is like we're not looking at just one elephant. We're looking at a herd of elephants. And one of the major things that when you do technology like this, one thing that you've got to appreciate with Merkle-Brute is his ability to kind of forecast and see way into the future of how all these like little components and widgets and different functionalities of the L1X app will allow us to scale at mass without painting us into a corner. The last thing we want to do is to bring in components just to bring in components. Everything has to have a rhyme and a reason behind it. And so it's a methodical kind of process that we're going through, making sure that we have every check mark in the box, and that we are able to make sure that it's not going to hinder our growth in the long run.
Yeah, a lot of information to process there, obviously. I know we've got community's got plenty of questions, obviously, and things rolling out. So I know we've got more information coming out shortly with, as an example, the airdrop and how that's going to work and what that looks like. We'll have stuff that you can read, so that makes it a little bit easier to take the time to digest it. I guess, yeah, I think everybody's a bit gobsmacked. Is there any I suppose I don't want to say closing statements, because I realise that it might evolve into a lot more conversation after this, but I suppose if you had to have a wrap-up statement, we'll just start there and then we'll just see where we go. Any wrap-up statements from you guys?
I think for our community, I think they just want to make, I would suggest they would not want to miss out on the NFT and username sale. Where this is going with the usernames across Web3, across all the various apps, etc., that are being developed, that'll go around that, and all the interactions with other sites, whether it's social media or anything else, they're all in the works at the moment. I don't think you'd want to miss out on this. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just to kind of echo that sentiment. And I think some of you may have picked it up in what Merkle Root was saying, but the username will also unlock the ability for decentralized web pages on the L1X web browser. So that is a massive value to a username for multiple different entities, multiple different individuals. I can see strategies already going off in the strategy channel on Discord. But yeah, I would just say usernames extremely valuable.
And that website URL that Merkle Root was talking about is only the beginning. There are so many different applications that are going to be in the works around usernames. So I would echo what Spark and Chief have talked about.
It's awesome. I think just to reiterate on things I've said in the past, it's not often that you get to be a part of a startup where you get to see the whole journey of an ecosystem develop. From being some of the very first community members and having all these things coming online so early, like having usernames and having our own wallet set up and all that sort of stuff that's integrated into the L1X ecosystem already is massive. Like I said, I don't know if any of you have been a part of other layer 1 startups, but usually it's they put a token out and then you wait for a year or two for them to develop something. So to be at this point where we're still in beta and all these things are already coming out and already we're looking to the future with things that are already super innovative, changing the game in crypto, as it were, I think you don't realize the power of where we currently are at in our journey. So I think it's huge props to the team, huge props to everybody who's developing, and the vision as well is just massive. All right, well, we will start to close that out. I know we've got, like I said, heaps of things to review, heaps of things to think about, and also start to strategize, I suppose, is a big thing. We've obviously got our strategy channel open as well, so you can check in and start seeing what everybody else's thoughts are. But yeah, once again, thanks to everybody in the community for jumping on, taking the time to listen. Obviously, your participation and your input is what keeps everything going, keeps everything ticking over. So really looking forward to this developing out and obviously growing into the monster it deserves to be. Thanks everybody for coming. If there's no more statements, we'll wrap it up there.
Thanks everyone for coming. Just want to remind everyone that the recap will be available in the L1X Notes channel. So yeah, stay tuned. Bye everyone.